Can't see me, I'm hiding.
I can see you.
Candace is doing quite the job on this set right now,
I
isn't
know,
she?
we have transitioned out of the fall season and into the spooky season.
Hold on a second here. Okay, so remember how when you asked the question, what time is it in LA?
Yes.
Did you hear what you just said there?
It's moving out of fall season.
But we're in fall. We're not even near moving.
Yes, we are still in fall, but the main theme is spooky.
Okay, good. And I mean, Candace has done quite the job here. Like, if you look at this, I mean, she's kind of got like some skulls. She's actually put little costumes on the little Trollgas, the Trollga family. Looks like they're getting to go trick-or-treating. I mean, over here on my right, I'm looking at the right here, and she's got like bats in the trees. She's got a skeleton's hand and some spider webs. The lights around Sally our crow there kind of thing. It's kind of we're getting ready, right? Like Halloween's what, next week?
Next week, I'm pretty sure next show is going to be even more decorated. So look forward to that.
Oh yeah. I think we might have a couple of surprises for that.
I think we will.
Can I just say something? What people don't see right now is there's this really creepy like head. Go grab it.
No,
Can you grab it?
I'm all wired up.
Okay.
No.
It's these things. Candace is a professional hairdresser.
You would have saw it on our Instagram live.
And she kind of, professional hairdressers, when they're in schools, they practice on these mannequin heads with all the hair. And there's like one just right over there, and it's like staring at me. It's really creepy. I mean, kind of falls into the set, right? It does. It kind of falls into the set. So what do we got? What do we got going here?
A bunch of things. Oh, like Potterhead started off with the question.
No.
Are you guys doing more TikToks today? Actually, yeah, we have one or two planned. We're going to record and we'll be uploading. So yes, we do our best to do a TikTok after the live show on Sunday.
Yeah, this Drippin' Boomer is got one or two TikToks going. We got planned, and yeah, I think it's kind of cool. But I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of like TikTok, right? Like, Mom knows this, you guys know this. I kind of get lost in it every so often. I think it's a really cool app. There's some things that go on there. I think we're actually going to talk about some of those things a little bit later.
We are indeed. TikTok is on our list of things to talk about here on the show.
Yeah. Okay, good. So what do we got going? How can people connect with us?
Well, as you all know, for those of you who usually watch us, please, here in the live show, we love engaging with our audience. So please comment in the live chat below, and we'll do our best to engage with you and answer any of your questions. So getting on with what we have, let's talk about some updates.
Oh, some updates. What do we got going?
Some updating you all on what we did. No, Candace, the do is on the news segment.
She's laughing in my ear right now. I think she's laughing in yours as well. Yeah, that's next. That's next, Candace. Breathe. Okay, so what did we do last week?
Well, actually,
there was a bunch of us doing some stuff.
Yeah, we have a couple things to update everyone on. You and I were at the legislature earlier this week.
Yes.
With a good friend of ours, Tad.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle of that picture. He's Tad, who runs his organization, Bullying Ends Here, launched his kindness tour where he's traveling all across Canada from Victoria all the way to, I think he ends in St. John's. Yeah,
he started here in Victoria as his trip, and he asked us to go and say a few words, which we did, which was kind of cool. And he's traveling by himself, if you can believe it, in a vehicle in the winter from Victoria all the way to the East Coast. He actually dipped his toe in the Pacific Ocean, or actually dipped his hand. It was a little too cold for him. He was being a little bit of a baby. Hey, Dad, I know you're watching. But you dipped your hand in the Pacific Ocean, and you're going to do the same thing out in the on the East Coast, which is kind of a tradition when you're traveling from one coast to the other, right? Yeah. And he's spreading the message of ending bullying, and his message, which is a really cool message. So yeah, we were there to support him. And then we have Tad in the upper right corner there, or sorry, Cal. What am I talking about? Tad is on the left. Cal is on the right there. And Cal is a white hatter here on the team, and he was at a high school in the Lower Mainland, and he was sharing he was at Kwantlen Park actually, And he was sharing our leveraging social media,
Yes.
right? Specifically for grade 11 and 12, 10, 11, and 12 students about how they can use their social media to help them get into a college, university, or even a job, which is kind of cool. And then what was the bottom left picture there, Brandon?
You and I were at Gabriel Roy in Surrey this week, spending the entire day there, speaking from the grades 4s to 12s.
Yeah.
Awesome time there. This is our second year back. They had us in last year. We had a wonderful time.
Yeah, they did.
And then the last picture
and
there
it's not a French school. It's not a French immersion school. It's actually a French school.
Yes.
It's one of the few in British Columbia where everything is French. They only have one class where they speak any English, and guess what class that is?
English.
English. Yeah, it's English class. It's the only class where they speak English. But other than that, everything is taught French. I learned a French word when I was there. Bonjour. 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 Ça va? Ça va bien, merci. Et vous?
And then the last thing there is...
You can't speak French, can you?
No.
Okay.
The last one there, Cal.
But you know what? Just before we go on, Candace can speak French, can't she?
A little bit, yeah.
She does a little bit.
She did French immersion.
Yeah, she actually does pretty good, actually.
And then the last picture there is Cal again. Cal was very busy this week.
Yeah,
he was, where was he again, Darren?
I don't know. He was in Surrey,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think North Surrey?
Actually, Des in the comments went, hey, the bottom right photo is my school.
Yeah, North Surrey.
Yeah, it's
North
wonderful.
Surrey.
So yeah, Cal again was having a very busy week, and
He was.
we love what he does.
Yeah, he certainly does, right? So it was a really good week. We've got another busy week coming up this week where you and I are going to be all over the place sharing our messages. We look forward to sharing some of those places on our next show next Sunday with some of the other things we got planned for the Spooktacular Sunday Live show. Get it? Spooktacular? Get it?
Yeah.
Get it? Okay.
Let's talk about this thing that hit the news the other day. This is our segment, Sorry, What Happened?
Or what I say is, say what?
This is our segment where This is a segment where we just talk about some weird things that came up on media and the news in the week.
Yeah.
So, some of you may have seen this. News report came out. The United States military has finally stopped using floppy drives to manage their nuclear weapons.
What's a floppy disk? I know what a floppy disk is, but I think some of the Gen Zs, us dripping boomers know what a floppy disk is, but maybe the Gen Zs here don't. What's a floppy disk?
It's a very old school analog way of, it holds like 500 megabytes or something of data.
Dude, I think we had one back here somewhere.
We have the old school
I don't know
DOS.
where they went.
We have the old school DOS one there.
Yeah.
That happened.
Can you
The
imagine?
United States military is now using secure SSDs. They apparently have been using floppy drives till this week.
Well, when you think about it, though, maybe it might have been more secure using the old floppies, right? But
let's get a magnet.
True enough, right? But it kind of makes you wonder who else might be using stuff like that dated stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny. But
it's
definitely one of those ones when I read it, I went, say what?
Yeah.
Amazing. What else we got going? How can people connect with us again?
Here on the live show, please leave any comments down below in the live chat for what you want to talk about, and we'd love to answer your questions. Candace is monitoring the chat here live, so please engage. Let's talk about
the inbox.
The inbox.
Yeah, we had a couple of them. This is one of my favorite ones that came in.
Yeah, we had this one that came in this week. Darren got this message. He can talk more about it.
This is going wild again. It's amazing how this one tends to cycle, and I think it's because of the bots that are out there that are using it because it's so successful. Where we got this call from this young 20-year-old person who heard me 2 years ago in a high school saying, "Darren, I just got this message in my inbox, and it said that they put this rat on my computer, and they've been recording everything I'm doing, and that they actually had my username and a password that I use, so it's got to be real. And if I don't put like $500 or $800 in my Bitcoin account, they're going to take this video of me changing and stuff, and they're going to put it all over the internet, right? And oh my God, what do I do? And this is what we call a phishing attack, right? And you did your master's degree on phishing attacks. So what's a phishing attack?
Well, essentially, it's a message of manipulation, trying to convince you of something that's real, that it's not real.
Yeah, and what makes this one seem so real is the fact that they had their password of one of their accounts. Now, how would they have gotten that?
This is a growing trend where essentially many people have so many different accounts, and many people will sign up for just one-off accounts.
Yeah.
I see this quite often with like gaming accounts where there'll be this online game someone signs up for. That online game doesn't have good security. That online game was hacked, so the email and password that was used for that game was released publicly, and then the issue is that if that's publicly available, because as humans, sometimes we use passwords when we shouldn't.
Yeah, for sure.
So the logic is, okay, if you use this email and password on this one game a couple years ago, you probably use this password in other areas. So it's kind of a guessing game, but again, as humans, we use our passwords quite often.
And that's exactly what happened to this young woman. In fact, what I said to her is I said, go in and use your email address that you use and go into that site, I've been pwned. And she ran and boof, there it was. Like it showed right there. And that's a good resource for everybody who's watching us right now. It's called I've been pwned, right?
Yes.
.com.
Have I been pwned? I think
Yeah, haveibeenpwned.org. But it's a really good way to go in and check to see if any of your information has been breached and released publicly. And if it is, you should be changing. So what I said to her was, block and delete. Don't worry about it because they likely 99.99% sure that they don't have it. But make sure that any social networks or anything that you've used where you've used that password, change the password, right?
Yeah.
Really important. So, but it was really convincing. Like I said, you would be amazed at how many teachers have connected with me over this one because they're so concerned about their jobs, right? That they think that this is real and now they see their jobs going down the, so anyways, it's one that's going around again, big time. It really hasn't gone away, but it tends to resurface every couple of months with these bot farms that just kind of recycle. And what that tells me is that it's a successful one. Like they're making money.
Oh, it is.
Because
it's definitely successful.
If they weren't, then they wouldn't keep doing it, right? So just be aware of it, right? Be aware of it. What else we got going?
Let's talk about the news.
Oh.
There you go.
There you go,
There it
Candace.
is. What am I going to do when we have a live show and you're not here?
We'll get Candace
Candace
to
is
do it.
going to do it. Really?
Yeah, and she'd be good at it. She's got the good pitch, right? She just did it in my ear and it kind of blew my eardrum out. So yeah, she's got good pitch there for sure. So
right.
what do we got in the news?
Let's
Okay.
let's talk about. I want to play this TikTok here.
Oh, hold on, TikTok. Whoa.
Beautiful.
I know, it is.
Let's just watch this TikTok here for a second.
Here we go.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No.
Pretty funny, but
However,
what?
why this is in the news segment is in response to this news article. So this is a chain, a food restaurant chain
Panera.
in the U.S. And here's the thing. Allegedly, according to the person who posted the TikTok, they have been let go from their job because of what they did on their TikTok.
Right. I mean, I bet you a lot of people went to Panera thought that they actually make their mac and cheese fresh, right? Like, that, I'm pretty sure that's what they thought. And then this worker behind the scenes shoots this on the job in the restaurant and makes it go public, which basically embarrasses the trademark or the reputation of Panera. And so they lost their job as a result of that.
Allegedly, but it seems pretty supportive.
Yeah,
The company would neither confirm nor deny that the person was let go.
Well, come on. Let's let common sense dictate here. But this is becoming quite common. I mean, because TikTok, I love TikTok, as you know. I love TikTok. And by the way, for those who are watching, we have a TikTok channel. What's our TikTok channel?
White Hatter Team.
White Hatter Team. We're going to be shooting one or two more over the next couple of days. And anyways, we're back on topic. But one of the things that we are finding, we kind of warn about this when we talk to law enforcement about understanding that anything you do on your own time in your personal social media platforms, whatever they are, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, if you're saying or doing things that is not so cool for the employer that you're working with, it can have consequences, right? It can have job action consequences up into including dismissal, right? And so this is one of the things that I think the people who are watching, who have TikTok or any social media platform need to understand is that although you're doing things on your own time, now in that one, it was actually being done on the job because you could see they were in the restaurant.
I think that's they were
like
certainly
they were in the
working.
restaurant. Like, duh, right, kind of thing. And so as a result of that, you're kind of forcing the hand of your employer to take action, right?
Yeah.
And so we're starting to see that more and more, especially on TikTok, where there are professionals, semi-professionals, and just employees doing things while they're on the job that looks really funny, maybe to most viewers, but maybe to the employer not so much so. And ultimately, it's the employer, especially if you're doing it while you're working.
Yeah, I mean, Life of Pothead said, I would never do this on the job exposing a company I work for.
Yeah.
Obviously, but again, some people, it doesn't seem, Candace said it in my ear, it doesn't seem obvious. Some people, it does not seem obvious.
Right.
And this is important when it comes to policies in workplaces as well.
We
And
talk about that.
Of course we do. In that many companies, some do, some don't, have policies against this type of stuff.
Yeah.
And breaching policy could lead to job action.
For sure, especially if you're embarrassing the company publicly. Right?
Yeah. But that being said, I mean, we talked last show about how prospective employees, 50% said they don't think employers should be looking at their social media.
Well, the reality is they do. Why? Because they need
public.
they need to protect their brand,
Yeah.
right? Because it's, like it or not, branding is everything when it comes to client engagement, right? And so these are things that people who are watching us need to understand. We love social media, we use it all the time, but we're also very cognizant of our branding and what it is that we're posting as well, right? So those are things that I think that we who are using social media, no matter who we are, be it Generation Zs, the Boomers, the Millennials. I mean, social media is becoming such an ingrained thing, right? Like one of the things I say to people is that, especially to the Boomers, is that there's no such thing as the online world and the offline world. Today, your generation is just it's one world.
Yeah.
So it's easy to forget that what you're doing in your social media platform, especially if you're working or having anything to do with your work, can have a negative consequence, right? So something to be aware of.
Candace put in the comments. Burger King foot lettuce.
Oh, I don't even
That's
want to know.
an old
I don't
school.
even know.
That's an old meme. I guess it is on TikTok, but I guess
or there was that one where somebody, I forget who it was, at a fast food chain was actually licking the buns and then serving it and stuff. Like, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
They got fired. Hello. Things to be thinking about for sure.
Yeah. So again, anything you do publicly or privately online, especially during work hours, be careful.
Yeah. Be very careful,
Nothing's
right? Everything
private.
we do online is public, permanent, searchable, exploitable, copyable, shareable, and it's all for sale. And as a result of that, it could have consequences.
Yeah.
Right? Could have consequences. Both positive and negative, for sure. But that was a really good example where a negative consequence. I can't believe that they actually deep fry it. Did you see that? That went into a deep fryer.
Was it a deep fryer?
That was a deep fryer.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was a deep fryer. Anyways. So what else we got going?
That's a cool way of heating it up, right?
Yeah, I guess, but still, how does the plastic not? It must be some kind of. Anyways, back on topic.
Well, have you ever done like sous vide things where that goes in plastic?
Really? Yeah. I mean, yeah. But if people are thinking that they're getting fresh stuff made because it's fresh, that's not so fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, back on topic.
It's an interesting conversation to have.
What else we got going?
Cyber attacks now cost small companies about, on average, $200,000, putting many companies out of business.
Oh, this is a big
We're
one.
seeing more and more of these statistics coming out talking about that when a small company gets breached or hacked, that it can have a significant consequence on their bottom line, potentially their...
In fact, I met with a person here, I'll just call him Kay. He knows who I'm talking about if he's watching, who's very much involved in higher level, executive level training in the area of tech and that kind of stuff. And he was telling me that here in Canada, a small business or any business that gets hit with cybercrime or cryptocurrency, within a year, 23% of those companies go under.
I believe it.
They go under, right? And I mean, the other important thing here to remember for those of us who are watching who own a business, they're not necessarily going after the big players anymore, are they? They're going after the small and medium level businesses. Why? Because they know that they're more vulnerable, because they don't have a lot of the checks and balances in place that you talk about in the business presentations that you do, right?
Less so targeting the Amazons, more so targeting the companies who are using Amazon services but have inefficiently secured them.
And this is one reason why we as a company do presentations for medium and small businesses, to get them to start thinking about this issue. Because again, if you're a family-run business and then you get hit with this stuff, it's devastating, right? And there's definitely things that you can do as a company to help minimize the risk, right? Not completely get rid of it, but at least minimize it so it makes it much harder. Right, because I think just like in policing, when I was going after the criminal many years ago, the criminal in the real world, they're lazy. They're looking for the easiest target possible. And I think most cyber criminals are the same way, right? They're kind of looking for the easiest target possible because they know it's easy to hit them, get in, get out quickly. So if we can target harden ourselves online, much like we do in our homes, well then we're kind of, in most cases, causing them to go to somebody else because trust me, there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands of easier targets out there online. So again, big plug for Brandon and what he does with businesses. So if you're a small business owner watching us right now, have a look at what Brandon talks to small businesses, medium-sized businesses about in the area of online cyber and social media safety and security and policy. He does a good job, and it should be something, because the weakest element is always the human element, and that's where training and education comes into play, right? Yeah. So check them out. Check it out.
Another article came out. We see these articles every month, basically. But this one's talking about, again, how some people have inefficiently set up their webcams in their homes or businesses, leaving them accessible to the public. So just a quick little reminder for any of you who use a home security camera, that you double check to ensure that you have proper security and privacy settings in place, because some of these by default might make your stuff public.
And I think that's why it's so important that as soon as you nailed it. A lot of these products come with a default password, and you got to make sure that you change them. And these cameras are becoming extremely popular right now, right?
Lev Potterhead says, do cyber attackers go after YouTubers? Oh yeah, they do. Again, cyber criminals will go after any target that is not using good security. So yeah, we see sometimes YouTubers who will get hacked. Maybe their accounts will be deleted or something. I'm not saying it happens all the time. Some do it for YouTubers as well, and there's hackers for hire. You can hire online and all that type of stuff. So they do go after YouTubers. Doesn't matter who you are. If you have something of value, it's a target.
And don't forget, some of that value is your personal information for the purpose of identity theft. The FBI did another huge press release this week saying that the #1 crime being committed online right now is identity theft, especially amongst young people between grades 6 to 12 right now. Why? Because we put way too much information about ourselves online that allow people to steal your identity and use it to their advantage. Things to think about, right?
Another phishing. This is another one. In regards to, we've seen some more iOS fake jailbreak type programs online and websites. So basically, with new iOS updates, there's a cat and mouse game. So some people want to jailbreak their device, make it more usable for them, which means breaking the security
That's
features.
what I was going to ask. For those people who are watching, say like parents who are watching, go, what does jailbreak mean? Does that mean somebody's breaking out of the cells of the Victoria Police Department? Like, what does jailbreak
Basically,
mean?
it's removing the security so you have more functions on your device. So some people will do that, but that being said, some people got to be careful what they do to download to use those functions. If you're someone who wants to jailbreak their device, again, I would recommend against it, but some people do for legitimate reasons.
And hasn't Apple said that if you jailbreak their device that you lose all your warranties?
Yeah, it depends on which country you're from.
Oh, really?
Certain countries and districts and states have different laws in regards to...
What about here in Canada?
I'm not sure what it is here in Canada, what our right to repair laws are and that type of stuff.
Well, I bet you if they find out that you jailbroke your phone, I bet you dollars to donuts. Get it? Donuts, ex-cop.
Yes.
I bet you that they won't honor the warranty.
I'm not sure what it is here in Canada. Well, here's the thing. It's no different than if you go to a mechanic shop and you don't go to a registered like a
you can lose your warranty on your car.
Well, it depends. Not always.
No, it depends upon the dealership.
Because if you change your tires.
Yeah, but a good example. We're a little off topic here, but oil change is a good example, right? Like if you take your car under warranty to a place to get an oil change, and if that place isn't recognized by the dealership as a licensed place where you can get that done, then you could void your warranty.
I don't know if, no, not oil.
Yeah,
not
I'm telling you,
oil
dude.
changes?
Yes. Yeah, like we are looking to move, because the oil changes at a dealership can be quite expensive when compared to somebody like Easy Lube or whoever they are, right? So we did some checking and we found one that is recognized and a licensed person to change oil, so it doesn't affect any of our warranty.
But if you do it yourself,
I think that might be an issue.
I don't know. But that actually.
How do you prove it? How do you prove that if you have to change your oil all the time and you have no record that you've done it, like how are you going to prove that?
But if you do it, your car is still under warranty. right? If you personally change your oil,
How are you going to prove that though?
And your
How are you
engine
gonna prove
breaks,
that? How are you going to prove that?
the car is still under warranty.
Yeah, but if all of a sudden you're changing your own oil, that's a great discussion. What if you're changing your own? That thing creeps me out. Like it's that head over there again. Anyways, if you're changing oil in your car and the dealership says you have to change your oil every 35,000 kilometers or 50, whatever it is, and you're doing it yourself without any record of it, and then something happens to the engine, how do you prove to Ford that you were sticking by the rules of the warranty that says that you have to do these oil changes?
Well, it depends. Some countries, some states.
I'm not
have
talking
laws.
I'm talking about here.
I'm not sure what it is here in Canada in terms of the consumer's right to repair their own thing and have it still under warranty if something else breaks.
Anyways.
Life of Potterhead says,
Candace,
good thing,
I feel for you.
Good thing I don't have an iPhone.
I feel for you, Candace.
You know what, Life of Potterhead? This also counts for
It's my
rooting.
life. She just said that's my life. Okay, shh.
This also counts
Accepted my fate,
for
she just said.
rooting Android phones as well. Anyways, so that was off topic. This topic, the Tor. The Tor browser, which is supposedly an anonymous browser.
I hate onions. Oh, you mean the Tor button?
Yes.
Okay, onion. Right.
So applications to use the Tor browser on a mobile device.
That's the key here, right?
Yes, but that being said, Tor on desktop isn't necessarily 100%.
That's true.
But basically, on mobile devices,
Are you okay there?
yeah, I'm good.
Do you need like the Heimlich
No, I'm
maneuver?
good. I'm good.
What was that?
I'm good.
Okay, just checking. Oh my God.
So yeah, the Tor browser on mobile phones,
Yeah.
on certain applications, do not actually encrypt or secure the traffic leaving your phone. So
You could
yeah.
be in for a man in a middle attack, right?
Potentially,
Yeah.
or doing something on a Tor browser that you shouldn't be doing.
Yes.
And then having that recognized and identified.
That's not good.
Yeah. So
Not good.
just something to be aware of. That again, although an app says it's private, does not mean it actually is private.
Life of Potterhead. It's a good thing I don't own an iPhone.
Yeah, that's what they said earlier. But rooting.
Yeah, but you know what? Life of Potterhead, iPhones rule. They rule.
Oh, don't start that. The devices are basically the same thing now.
All right,
The new Pixel
whatever.
4, it's basically the same thing.
But this is more than a phone. It's an iPhone. It's my precious.
Okay.
Anyways, back on topic.
All right.
All right.
Let's talk about some projects.
Why don't we talk about some projects?
Here was a project that was done in Australia. So this was a hackathon. So basically,
This is kind of cool, actually.
Yes, it's very cool. So the Australian police had, during a hackathon, had a segment where basically about 350 white hat hackers were given case files for missing persons. And they were using the internet to help generate information to help find these people. And apparently one of the organizers said about 100 leads were generated every 10 minutes from these 350 white hat hackers who were using the internet to find information about these missing people.
Crowdsourcing.
I know.
Kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of cool what it is that they're doing there. It really is. We kind of did the same thing about 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember this, but a parent here in British Columbia connected with us because their 14-year-old daughter had been missing for 48 hours.
Yes.
Remember that one? And the RCMP got involved. And they were trying to find her. They couldn't find her. And they thought it was somewhat suspicious. So the parents went, hey, we know this guy in Victoria called the White Hatter. They think that he might be able to help us. And at the time, the police said to them, well, you know, if we can't find her, he can't. And they connected with us. And we reached out to all our followers. We found her in less than 20 minutes, right? Because, you know, we crowdsourced it with all the teens who follow us, saying, can you please help us find this girl? And we did it in 20 minutes. It was amazing, right? So it's kind of cool. You know what would be kind of cool is to have a follow-up on that. We should diary date that one for a couple months and see if any of the things that they found, if any of them led to somebody actually being found. Because I think that would be kind of cool, right? Because crowdsource. I just had what you just had there.
Are you okay? You need the Heimlich?
It's contagious. But, you know, I just had a great idea. Wouldn't it be kind of cool for the White Hatter here at the school to do a crowdsource on something? Right? Like say there's a missing person who's been missing for a while now, that we kind of do the same thing here where we invite in people from the greater Victoria area who do this type of stuff and see what we can do. That'd be kind of cool, actually. We could buy pizza for everybody. You would get gluten-free stuff though, right? The gluten-free stuff. But I think it would be kind of cool if we were to pick a topic and then just go for it and see what happens.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
That kind of does it for the show today.
Really?
I know.
No way. That only felt like it was 10 minutes.
No, it's 30 minutes now.
You know what made this show really creepy?
Yes.
That head.
For those of you who are wondering what he's talking about, watch our Instagram live show we did on Instagram. Candace.
The pre-show show.
The pre-show show. Candace pans over to the head over there, and yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Hey, did you notice my tie today? It's kind of checkered.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, kind of checkered and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that means next week we are doing another show, and this will be our holiday show. The Spooktacular show. So basically, the set will be even more...
We need to do a special graphic. You know, see where it says live show. We need to add some bats and some, jack-o'-lanterns.
I think we had one from last year. I think we did one last year.
And put in like Spooktacular show or something like that. Are we going to be wearing costumes?
We might be.
Ooh.
So yeah, next week, Sunday, we'll be here, and I'm sure the set will be even more decorated. And I think we're doing a Facebook Live after that show as well.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
And a lot of bands. I know. Next week's show is going to be great. Next week's show is also the giveaway. So once a month. At last show of the month, we usually do a giveaway. So follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting the information on how to enter the draw, and we'll announce the winner on next show.
You know, the other kind of cool thing about giveaways, we've been talking about merch and that kind of stuff recently, right?
Yes.
And I think you came up with the idea of getting some White Hatter socks. Some White Hatter socks?
Yeah, we'll see.
That'd be kind of cool, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe?
Well,
yeah. That's like a
I should wear a scooter costume? Is that what I read there?
Brandon needs to wear a scooter costume like a Potterhead.
What am I going to do? I could dress that as a scooter.
No, we got other costumes. Oh, I just wrecked it. Nope, I didn't say what one. We got some other ones. We got some other things kind of scheduled for next week.
All right. Okay. All right, everyone.
Okay.
All right. So that's the show.
I kind of look like Uncle Fester, actually.
Yeah, you do.
I do.
Thank you for joining us, everyone. We'll see you next week on our Halloween show. So from us in the White Hatter, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.